Yeah, man, say all praises and honor unto Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Bakar, Kodash. And double honors to the apostles, to the elders, of Graven Stone, Shalom, to all the brothers out there, pushing this truth. In all sincerity and in all honesty. Yeah, this is a brother from the James, Jamaica camp, Yashamai. I know more and touch upon this whole Ohio train derailment, thing we see, popping in the news now. Right, every right now on, social media. Right, and me hope and pray that the brothers them, in Ohio, James, Columbus, Ohio Saints, hope and pray about Shemir protect, these brothers out there. Right, because we in some serious times and they're gonna get worse, as the time go by, because actually in the time now when these wealthy families of the earth, these Rockefellers, they're basically ready now, full speed ahead. Right, we basically accomplish the new world order. Right, you have coal shrub, or you want to call him, instead you're supposed to pay attention to the frightening scenarios, right? They make reference about the whole cyber attack, but this go way more than cyber attack. So these events, basically, these things have been happening, especially from 2020. Right, these men are the one, behind it, because according to them, right, they want, fully accomplish them new world order by 2030. Right, according to them, by 2030 you're not supposed to own nothing. Right, so they're gonna, cause a lot of chaos, a lot of events, happening in order for basically, justify themselves, for basically, do certain things. Right, even on that documentary, Apostle Gabar always, speak about. I believe in him, the capitalist conspiracy with G, Edward and Griffin. He say you're supposed to release them. Part of them plan is to create a problem, right? So frightened in the yard and abroad, right? So this all these men roll you, right? Then deliberately create problem in order to justify themselves, for basically pass certain laws, right? They are prophets, prophets of elite. So it's called Shub, and all these men are prophets of the elite, because the word prophet means what? To say before. So they must say things where they must do before. Them do it openly. They must tell you, they basically even show it through the movies, cartoon. Right? That's how these men operate. Right? But there's an eternal judge, which is Yahweh, through his son Yahushai. You're going to destroy this whole plan of these men plan, because ultimately it's going to lead to their destruction, according to what written in the scripture. Right, this is Job 5 and verse 12 says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty. Who disappointed the devices of the crafty? Yahweh, through his son Yahushai. Right? So that your hands cannot perform their enterprises. So they now fully accomplish, them new world order. So all these things we see happening right now are what basically getting ready to take place now, across the world, mainly in America, where this Art of Jacob's trouble will take place. Right? These men are the one behind it, because that's how them do them thing. All that true chaos. Right? Problem, reaction, solution. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. Right? So we're seeing these things right now in the news. Right? Heavily
through the cloud cover.
Right? It's just basically justify themselves to do certain things, right? And these things happening, make we understand. So if we make the men of the Lord understand,
that should be
the time what you're living in, right? And the seriousness of the time, right?
Train derailment. This should be the #1 story in the country right now. By far. They're talking like 100-foot high flames bursting through the cloud cover. There was this hazardous material specialist. His quote was, "We basically nuked a town with chemicals so we can get a railroad open." So he was carrying this chemical. It's an extreme carcinogen, considered very, very dangerous to humans and all sorts of things. But now it's like they're starting to have reports of livestock just like fucking dropping dead all over the area. People are complaining about like horrible headaches. In waterways, the whole stream and creek is just filled with dead floating fish. So now you have like this massive, massive disaster, in theory, could give cancer to 5 million people if it gets in the drinking water. This train derailment, this should be
#1 story. So a lot of people are going to get destroyed, right? Because, Georgia Guidestone where them say some line in something that says destroy it, and it is maintain humanity and a 500 million, right? So they are planning to get rid of majority of the people or majority of the population, right? So all these things, right? Diseases, right? Famine, right? Nuclear war, all these things they are basically planning for use to get rid of majority of the population or cull the population. So seeing all these things happening right now, the earthquake and all these things, we understand that these men, me personally believe that these men behind the whole thing, right? Because that's how them do them thing, right? I bring out another scripture, right? This is Psalms 10 and verse 3 say, "For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire." Who is the wicked? Right, Malachi 1 and 4 tell us that Edom, thou shalt call them the border of wickedness, who are the Edomites, the so-called white people, so them boast of them heart desire. Right? Through them movies, them basically do that. You know, cartoon, even the media, right? Them basically boast of them heart desire, then communicate. That's how them communicate to each other. Right? So beam all message, you know, because you know them understand how to do certain things. Right? For the wicked boasteth of his heart desire, and blessed the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. Right? The scripture say, though favor been shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. So you know, in these men, right, for the good, right? The scripture tell us that the Lord created the wicked for the day of evil. Alright, this is Psalms 140, right? And verse 1 said, "Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil men. Preserve me from the violent men," which is basically the violent man, which is Esau, Edom, which imagine mischief in their heart continually. Are they gathered together for war? Right, so they basically, you know, getting ready to move at our people, especially we the men of the Lord. You know, I believe I see our brother James Watchman. You know, just early on, I see him do a video and police supposed to take record of, you know, religious, you know, something to that effect. You know, me and talk about us because you know we are the main, you know, people are the main group, as how Eastside put it, you know, that basically, you know, them fear, because this truth we basically been pushing, you know, been offending them for so long. So we in a time now when these men, you know, are getting ready to move at us here. Right? So everything, you know, I put into place now, everything I move fast, you know, in order for the society come to an end. Alright, I want another scripture. Alright. This is Revelation 12 and verse 12. It said, "Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time." So seeing all these things happening right now, right, we actually, you know, living in a time when these men ready, you know, basically, you know, come at our people. Right, and Esau, you know, weaponize everything. These men are weaponized. Right, go back to the blessing where them basically received from our forefather. Right, so everything they weaponize. Right, that's basically them blessing. Right.
This is Dabu7, an update on the situation out of East Palestine that is affecting the Ohio River. We have the Greater Cincinnati Waterworks area saying that they're closing its water intake from the Ohio River ahead of an anticipated batch of contaminated water that's coming from East Palestine and that whole train derailment. Now, I don't know if I believe everything that they're saying here. They're saying out of an abundance of caution, they're doing this, and they're expecting this to get there on Monday around their intakes. So between now and then, anything can happen as well. And the superintendent of the water quality treatment said that the time of arrival is subject to change, and they will continue to provide updates. So, you know, if the water picks up speed from any of this runoff or anything else, it could move quicker. DeWine tried to come out and say that, per their data, that this whole thing is completely dissipated, and I do not believe that one.
So, you know, hopefully, you know, the brothers them, you know, in Ohio, you know, James, Columbus, Ohio, you know, you have about Shimmer Shy, you know, protect, you know, hope and pray, you know, that the Heavenly Father, you know, protect these brothers, you know, because, you know, seeing, you know, things really basically getting serious, you know, more and more, right? So Esau, without a doubt, now, they're basically ready, right now, full speed ahead, you know, based off of, you know, certain things are coming out in the news right now. So now by the time, you know, we, you know, the men of the law, we're supposed to, you know, stay focused, because actually in that time now when these men, right, ready, right, so we're supposed to, you know, in the right mindset, right, now at the time, bring out one more scripture, you know, hopefully this lesson is edifying to the elect out there. Right, this is Ephesians, you know, 6 and verse 12 say, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, right, demons, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world. Who is the rulers of this world? Right, the banking family, Rothschild, Rockefellers, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh Shemer Shai, power, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And we actually in that time right now. And having done all to stand, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, right, above all these things are listed out, you know, from 12 coming down, I read early on, right, above all, take on the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery dart of the wicked, right. And in the news, as I mentioned, you know, about the video, I see a brother do early on, you know, that the police is supposed to take record of certain religious group, you know, talking about us, right, the Hebrew Israelite, mainly, because, you know, we are the really threat to the Esau Edom kingdom, because we are the one who bring out the truth, I expose these men, right, and then we like it. So we see them getting ready now to basically come at us. So scripture say, above all, take on the shield of faith, because faith is very important, especially, you know, in these times that we're living in. You know, in these times, right, seeing all these things happening right now at the time, you know, we're supposed to, you know, stay focused now, more than ever, right. This is Acts 14 and verse 22 say, confirming the souls of the disciples and exalting them to continue in the faith, and that we, much through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Shemer Shai power. And now we see things heating up right now. Right, so now at time we're supposed to, you know, stay focused, you know, help each other, right, because in the idea, we don't love each other, right now, and things about to, you know, escalate to another level, you know, something big is about to basically take place, right. So, you know, hopefully, you know, this video was, you know, edifying to the elect out there. Yeah, shalom.